So, we are here with my amazing client, Tix. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Is this your first time doing any sort of podcast or... I mean, you do a lot of talking to camera, as we know, which we're going to get into, but...
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've done one podcast before, but that was quite a while ago. So this is like a proper setup. Like this is the real deal.
Go big or go
girl.
home.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, the first thing I want to ask you before we get into anything is who you are.
Okay.
So I know that you're in the UGC space and in the content creator world, but just give me an insight into who Tix is and what your role is in UGC and in that world.
Cool. So I've been doing UGC for about 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 38 years old. I'm a mum to my little girl who's one. Not one. She's 5. But we do a lot of family content. I do some couples content. I do sort of restaurant stuff, any kind of niche I've worked in. And yeah, it's been going really well. I've worked with over 250 brands, which is amazing.
Oh my goodness.
In that span of time. And yeah, it's just the reason I kind of got into it was because I had that thing where we had a COVID baby and I just didn't want to go back to work and do the 9 to 5 and basically not see my child. And yeah, UGC started sort of getting more popular. So I thought, why not take the leap?
Because you were actually balancing, until very recently, you were balancing part-time teaching and then part-time UGC.
Yeah.
Right? And you were doing that for a fair amount of time.
For about 3.5 years, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
What did that feel like emotionally for you, balancing those two kind of roles?
I think as like any probably parent will say to you, like a working parent, especially mums, I think there's a real sense of mum guilt because you're trying to juggle so many different things, and you just feel like you're never giving 100% into any one thing. You're kind of giving parts of yourself to different things, and that's kind of the reason why I went full time, because I really wanted to put all my energy into it, and it was something I really enjoyed, and I knew that I wanted to develop it further, but there was a lot of fear behind that. That, you know, I was going to fail or something was going to go wrong and then I wouldn't be able to support my family or whatever. But emotionally, it has been very up and down. And I think most working parents go through that, where you definitely feel like you want to be there for your kids as much as possible, but you also want to have something for yourself and you want to build something for yourself so you don't lose your sense of self completely. Yeah.
What was the thing in your mind that kind of happened, or what was that switch that happened when you decided to go full-time with UGC? Because that was, what, 4 months ago now? 5 months ago?
Yeah.
When we made that decision?
4 months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I started working with you, and I think our initial sort of conversation was 6 months down the line that I would make that jump into going full time, and I was really nervous about it. I was just like, yeah, I can't see this happening in 6 months time, but it really was a confidence thing. It really was trying to gain that belief in myself that I could do this and I could make it work, and just working through all of that stuff really helped me take the leap, and then I think we had a session. And then the following day, I was just like, do you know what? I was sitting there teaching and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't juggle everything all at once. So I handed in my resignation. And then I think I told you and you were just like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, it was time. So it just felt...
Because it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, it was everything that we were working towards, but I was like, oh my God, go Tix.
Yeah.
Like, you've actually done it.
I think I had a couple of weeks of feeling like going into teaching and like doing the job and just absolutely hating it. And it wasn't the job itself. It was just the fact that I was just like, why am I still doing this when I know that I could be progressing and building my business, and I should be. I'm at that stage now where I can actually push it further and go full time with it. So why am I holding myself back? And I think that I just got sick of just not taking the leap, not believing in myself anymore, I think. And then I was just like, yeah, this is it. It's done.
How long would you say you were not taking the leap for? So when you started teaching and then got into the UGC world initially, how soon after getting into the UGC world did you feel like you wanted to actually make being in front of the camera your full-time business and job?
I think looking back on it now that I have hindsight, I definitely could have gone full time a lot sooner, and I really could have done it. But it was just the fear holding me back, and the lack of belief in myself, and also kind of the mum guilt as well. I think, looking back on it now, I could have definitely gone full time a long time ago, but I needed to work through that process. I'm definitely glad that I did it now in this headspace with this mindset, and I needed to do that. Otherwise, I kind of, even if I did go full time before, I think I would have burnt out quite quickly. So, yeah.
And with where you're at the moment then, what is it that you would say is the trait that you carry the most with you when you're now, because you're doing this full time, like you're making it work every single day because you're waking up and choosing to make it work? What's the trait that's allowing you to just do it and just go for it every single day, knowing that you're going to make it work?
I think there is that confidence now. There is that self-belief. It's kind of just like, you do things that push you out of your comfort zone, and things are scary, and they might not work or whatever, but it all kind of, it helps you to build, and you learn from your mistakes, and also I think just realizing that I am good enough and looking like strategically at where I've come from since the start of my journey to now and how much progress I've made is really helpful.
Okay, we're talking about confidence, but obviously we're going to have to bring it back to when you weren't confident.
Yeah.
Because something that we massively bonded over initially was acne.
Yeah.
Right? And when you started in UGC, or when you kind of got into that world, I know that acne was playing a big role in your life.
Yeah.
So how was it trying to, if you take yourself back to that moment in that period of your life, how was it trying to manage the version of yourself that you were behind the filters and behind the makeup that maybe you were putting over for content, and then managing that version of yourself versus, the version of yourself that you were giving to brands for what you do?
I think that was a struggle, definitely, because I think, like, when you look at skincare adverts or you look at beauty brands and stuff, everyone has perfect skin. Like, you don't really see people with problem skin. And that's definitely something that held me back as well for a long time, because I was really self-conscious about my skin. And I am past the stage of where it's not teenage acne anymore, it's adult acne. And I really was hoping that I would have come out of adulthood without having any skin issues, but that just hasn't happened for me. So trying to balance that with a version of myself that I'm showing to brands, like trying to be that picture perfect person on camera, was definitely something I really struggled with, and I still struggle with it now. There are certain skincare briefs or brands that I feel like I can't really work with, or campaigns that I can't really work with just because I have problem skin. But I think one thing that I have learned through your journey, but also through now sharing my journey as well, is that actually there's so many people like us with acne and skincare problems who feel that lack of self-confidence. And I think there's a lot of stigma and judgment as well for people who have acne and skincare problems. So working through that and actually just connecting with people and being like, we do exist, and it's good to show up on camera and show the real story behind it. And that's exactly what UGC is. It's about being authentic and showing your real self. So I've learned that actually sharing real skincare issues is a big part of who I am as a creator and a person, basically. So yeah.
You know what? I say this all the time as well, and I used to say it. But if I was scrolling through, I don't know, TikTok or whatever, right, Instagram, and I saw a skincare brand and one of their ads, for example, I want to see someone with acne. Yeah. I don't want to see someone with the clearest skin in the world. You know what I mean? So having someone like you creating content for, like big beauty and skincare brands is what, in my opinion, we all need more of. Yeah. Because otherwise it is just a very unrealistic representation of where that brand can even take you or what that brand even stands for.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you get more excited now to kind of work with skincare and beauty brands because you know in yourself what you're actually bringing to those brands and to those briefs?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And I've learned to be more of a conscious consumer as well. Like, I do look through the brand's marketing, and I'm just like, if you haven't got anyone in your marketing that has skincare issues and you're trying to sell a product to tackle a certain skincare issue, if I'm not seeing that in your marketing, how do I know that it works? So I get more excited now when I do get skincare briefs through, or I am working with dermatologists or whoever, to like be kind of the test model for them and be like, I've got real skincare issues. This is the before and after to show you whether the product actually really works for people like me. And I think sharing my skincare journey, the amount of people I get messages from that are just like, thank you so much for sharing this. And you're so confident for coming up on camera and showing your real skin and showing the treatments that you go through and ask me for advice, is really heartwarming, because I was just like, I wish I had that kind of community before. Do you know what I mean? So like years ago when I was really, really struggling with my self-confidence. So it's a big thing, and it's just really heartwarming that I can be that person to be like, it's okay. Like, we should be showing up on camera. Do you know what I mean?
I'm really proud because your ads pop up on my feed.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I see them and I'm like, thanks, here we go again. But I'm really proud of you because every time it's like you're not trying to hide the person that you are. You know, you're not hiding behind layers of makeup, and you're not using filters, and you know, like as you said, you're being authentic.
Yeah.
You know, and I obviously know you as a person, so I can see that through your content. And I'm like, oh, this is actually ticked. You know, don't cry, please.
No, I'm not going to cry.
We have no tissues.
My mascara's going to run.
Getting those messages now then from people, because I also relate to this, where people have messaged me saying, you know, you've really helped me with my confidence. I've seen one of your videos or whatever.
Yeah.
What does that do for your younger self or your past self? Knowing how you were struggling, what does that do for that version of you, getting those messages now from other people?
It just makes me feel really seen, and I like it for your younger self. Like, you go through, I had a really tough time in my teenage years, like the bullying and people always pointing out skin issues and trying to give you unsolicited advice, and you're just like, I don't need your advice, I'm really sorry, but you're not going through it, and you can literally slap whatever on your face and you're not going to get the same issues. Just wasn't helpful. So for my younger self, it's really built confidence that I can be that representation that we didn't have back in the day. And it's just so nice to receive messages from people and just be like, feel like you're seen. So yeah.
And also seen by people that are actually choosing to see you, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, because when, again, from knowing how you were feeling, you do alter and change yourself a lot for other people when you feel inferior.
Yeah.
You know? So being able to now just be yourself and that be enough for people or inspiring for people,
yeah,
you know, that's also amazing.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So obviously acne has been a part of your story for a long time, but it's not actually the reason that we started working together at all.
No.
You didn't come to me for, you know, like help with your confidence skin wise. It was more so, I think, because I saw that ambition in you, that you wanted to potentially take UGC full time, or you wanted to make content creation something that you do day in, day out, rather than here and there.
Yeah.
When you did first start to feel like you didn't have the right to be seen in the UGC world specifically, what was the thing that made you think, okay, well, actually, I could change something here? Because you could, I guess, with content, right, with what you're seeing in UGC currently, or when you were seeing it previously, you could either see that, what's in the industry at the moment, and feel really out of place and feel inferior, or you could see it and think, you know what, I want to be the change here. I want to see how I can fit into this world. So how did you feel when you first kind of stepped into UGC, and you were obviously seeing what the industry was like at that point? Because I feel like it was very different then to what it's like now.
Yeah, it's changed so much now. So yeah, there was definitely that kind of imposter syndrome of not feeling good enough, of really lacking any self-confidence, and just being like, I don't see any content creators like me, you know, they don't have the skin issues, they appear a lot more confident on camera, and they're just better at filming content, and they're getting the brand deals. And it was easy to kind of fall into that trap of being like, I don't fit in that space, so I'm not going to try. And then I think what really shifted was following creators like yourself, sharing their skincare journey, and just being like, no, we do need to be seen in these spaces. Like, if brands and agencies are not using people in their marketing that look like us, that actually have skincare issues, that have a story to tell, then it's not authentic, which goes completely against what UGC is. It's user-generated content. It's trying to connect with real people in an authentic way. And the best way you can do that is showing up as yourself, like unfiltered, not being scared to show the different parts of you, or, you know, the negatives as well as the positives that are going on in your life. So I think the change happened in that I had got a couple of messages when I did start doing content initially, from different people saying, oh, I don't feel confident coming up on camera, or I don't want to show my face, so you appear really confident. And just that was really heartwarming to me, and it just gave me the kind of confidence to be like, actually, there is an audience and a community out there for me. So that gave me the confidence to push myself and be like, I can be seen, and, you know, I have a story to tell and it's worth telling. So
what did you tell those people? So anyone that came up to you saying, you know, oh my God, you're so confident on camera, or I don't have the confidence to do what you do or be on camera. What did you say to them in response?
I said, well, first of all, thank you so much. Like, that means so much to even get your message. But also just saying to them that you can be your real self, you can be authentic, and just start filming content. It doesn't have to be picture perfect. It shouldn't be picture perfect, because the way we connect with each other is through the real people having real conversations and just telling each other's stories. And that was my advice to a lot of people. It was just like, just start, just put yourself out there. You never know what can happen. So
literally like you did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring it up. I don't want to, but we have to talk about it because we both experienced the same thing. What's it been like being a South Asian woman in the UGC space?
Yeah, it's tough. And it still is tough. Statistically, we're paid lower. We have to work harder for the same opportunities as our counterparts. And that is something that definitely needs to change. I would say now there is much more of a community of South Asian creators supporting each other, which is so good. And that was so needed. There definitely still needs to be a change in the industry overall in terms of agencies and brands, South Asian brands as well, like not representing South Asian people in their marketing. But it is nice to have a community now of South Asian creatives in the industry that really support each other and push each other to actually get equal pay, get the same opportunities as our counterparts. And we're a big target market for a lot of these brands and agencies. So not utilising us in your marketing, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're not connecting with these people. And I, for one, am now more of a conscious consumer. I really look at the people that I'm working with, and I'm just like, if there's no diversity in your marketing, I don't really want to be a part of your campaign. I don't want to be the token. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be an afterthought. We need to kind of be at the forefront of what these brands are trying to say.
Yeah. Describe it in one word. You said tough, to be fair.
Yeah.
But if you could describe it in one word, being a South Asian creator in this space.
Challenging. Yeah.
I would agree, for sure.
Yeah.
Having been in it for the amount of time that I have now. And as you said, I think it's still challenging, but it is about your mindset and where you feel like you hold space within that space, right? And the value that you can bring.
Yeah.
That was another thing I want to speak to you about as well, because when we were working together initially, obviously we're still working together now, but when we were working together initially, this was back in December, and I remember this is where all the Christmas events were coming up for UGC, right? And I remember one thing you said to me. You said, I'm not going to go to, that event because I don't feel like I have a place there. I don't feel comfortable, in person speaking to all these creators. And I'm sure you remember what that felt like, 6-7 months ago.
Yeah.
Talk me through that, because think about it. People are seeing you on camera, right, through your ads, and they're like, oh my God, she's so confident. But in the background, obviously we knew what was really going on at that point.
Yeah.
And bringing that level of, confidence on camera in person was something that initially was really difficult for you.
Yeah.
So talk me through how you were feeling in that time.
So I'm naturally quite an introverted person. So showing up on camera when I've just got a camera in front of me and chatting is fine. I can do that all day. But when it comes to socializing with other people, having small talk and networking, that's the thing I really struggle with. And I've always really struggled with that. And it's still something I have to put myself in those situations to try and push myself to grow in confidence with talking to other people. So back then, it was really hard because it got, you have the anxiety, you get the butterflies, and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go there and no one's going to want to speak to me, or I'm just going to feel really out of place, like I don't actually belong in these situations. So back then it was really hard. I mean, it is still difficult, but not to the same level as it was before. And I think one of the things that we really worked on that you said to me was just like, everybody else in that room is probably feeling the same as you. And that really resonated with me, because I was like, there are so many other people that have turned up to this event by themselves and are probably going through the same anxieties and the same things that I am. So just actually realizing I'm not in this alone, there are other people who feel like me, really, really helped.
How did it help? How did it change things for you?
I think it just gave me the confidence to, when I go into these rooms and these networking events now, I'll see someone by themselves and I'll be like, they're probably going through and having the same mindset that I am going through. So I'm going to go up to them and start a conversation, basically, and just be like, hi, how are you, kind of thing. Like, and even if it feels really cringy inside, I kind of know that I'm not the only one feeling out of place initially. And then it literally is like within 5 minutes of having a conversation with someone, at a lot of these networking events, you make a connection and then a lot of it just lifts, and you just feel so much more confident. And then the whole outlook of the rest of the event, or the way the rest of the event just kind of flows, and you just, it's just so much nicer. So yeah.
So good. And now you're going to so many, like you were at an event yesterday, you're going to an event today, you were at an event on Monday or something. So yeah, it's massively changed compared to you avoiding every single event possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Back in December.
Being a hermit. Yeah.
So yeah, it's huge, which is really amazing. The thing that I remember as well, when we were having those conversations back in December, the word that you said to me, which is a word that I'd heard quite a lot from women like yourself and women that I've even worked with, it was inferior.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me. The moment that you said it, I was like, I felt it almost. It was weird. I was like, I felt it because I've felt that.
Yeah.
For so long, I felt that. When you were feeling inferior, what was that like for you? Take me through what was actually going on in your day-to-day life.
It's really problematic when I was feeling inferior, and even now sometimes when I have those feelings, or I'm having a really crappy day or a crappy week or whatever, and it's horrible because it just feels like you are failing at everything. You're failing at being a mum, you're failing at work, you're failing at just running a household, all of those things, and it's just a really isolating place to be in, and it's obviously it's not healthy, and you just struggle to do anything. So even the smallest thing, like getting out of the house, used to be really difficult for me, because I was just like, I just don't feel like I can do anything. Like something's going to happen that's going to just throw me off as soon as I leave my comfort zone. So yeah, it was just really isolating. You feel really depressed as well, and you just struggle to just go through the day-to-day things in life. Yeah.
I really understand that, because again, like I think every woman goes through it in one way, shape or form. I think the symptoms are always different. Yeah. Right? Everyone experiences it in different ways based on, what their life is like and who they are. But that core feeling that you kind of feel in the pit of your stomach is always the same. Whether it's the fear, as you said, to leave your house, or the feeling like you're not doing anything right or anything well enough. You could be doing more, all those sorts of feelings. So take me through then, because we've done a lot of work. Yeah. There's been some heavy sessions. Take me through when you started to feel that inferiority shift for you with some of the work that I guess we've done behind the scenes. Because again, everyone else gets to see, Tix, the UGC creator, Tix is working with this amazing brand, that amazing brand, like all the creative fun stuff. Yeah. But I get to see the behind the scenes, right? And obviously stuff. You know what's happened behind the scenes too. So yeah, take me through when you started to feel that shift towards becoming this confident compared to where you were.
I think when we first started working together, I went through the inferiority thing quite a lot, like on a daily basis. And it was probably about 75% of the time I felt like that. So when we first had our initial conversation, I came into it really skeptical. I was just like, how is this person I've never actually met in person, never spoken to? I followed your journey, but we'd never had a conversation before. I was just like, how are they going to understand what I'm going through? Because our lives are completely different in some aspects, but they are similar in some. And I just remember coming out of that session being like, she hit the nail on the head on so many different levels. And then I think through the sessions that we've had, there's been, especially the early ones, we did a lot of sort of mindfulness work where you've taken me back to my younger self, and we've looked at sort of key moments from my past where certain emotions had come up and they've kind of stuck with me. So I think going back to those moments and being the person I am now and telling that, like taking yourself out, like the way you do it, where you take yourself out of being you and you're looking at it from, you know, this is the child you and this is you now, what would you tell that child, has really helped, because it's really changing the perspective and healing your inner child, basically, and being that person that I needed for me back then. So yeah.
It's so good to hear.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so good to hear, because it's literally the reason why I do what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as I've said to you multiple times, you can't do that work yourself. I wish that people could. Like, I wish you could do that on yourself and be able to go through that process yourself, but you just can't.
Yeah.
Right? It is something that someone else has to take you through.
You can't see yourself as a child. Like, you can't see yourself as that 4-year-old, that 5-year-old. But then through the work that we've done, I'm just, especially being a mum now with having a young daughter, I'm just like, what would I tell her? Like, there's no way I would treat her the way I treated myself. So yeah, it's been really helpful to have someone to guide you through that, because you're 100% right, you can't do that yourself.
No.
Yeah.
And I think now, actually, even as you've just said, I didn't even think about that, to be honest, but like you being able to share that with your daughter now and being able to look out for her in that way that maybe you wouldn't have known to before. You know, like to look out for signs that maybe she's struggling with something, or, you know, because like the world that we live in now, even from a young age, like girls, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So for you to have that awareness now to be able to give to her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is something that's really special.
Yeah.
You know, and will hopefully bring you two even closer.
Yeah.
You know, which will be great for you and her.
Yeah.
So you've just extended, actually, with us. You've extended us working together quite recently.
Yeah.
And she's
Can't let you go.
laughing about that. But yeah, you've extended just because, well, I mean, you can tell me, I guess. But you also are doing or have been to therapy, right? So I was always in my mind like, okay, I know what I can do could potentially help even more so than therapy. But again, it's always your decision to make. You know what I mean? I'm never going to push you to do one or the other.
Yeah.
But what would you say is the reason that you've opted for the work that we're doing and to continue with that to get you to exactly where you want to get to, maybe versus therapy?
I think my experience with therapy was talking about past traumas and really discussing them to try and get to a stage where I kind of accepted where I was with the past trauma, and you work through them and you verbalize them. But whereas my work with you, we go through the past trauma, but then you give me the tools and the strategies to enable me to work past them, and to be able to, like, now if something happens to me, I go back to some of the sessions that we've done before and I can apply the same things to that. So it's more of a toolkit that I've got from you that I can apply to different aspects of life going forward, whereas I feel like therapy just deals with that one specific situation and then you discuss it and you talk through it, whereas now some of the work that we've done, I feel like if anything were to crop up in the future, I have a set of skills and tools that I can use to manage it. So yeah, it's different. It's definitely two completely different types of things, I think.
I agree. Yeah. I agree massively. And obviously I see the work that I do and how it differs to therapy. And I knew that from the very start, right? But again, it's more so about if it's right for that specific person.
Yeah.
Because therapy works amazingly for some people. You've done it, right? And I think you're still doing it, right? But
yeah.
for something else,
yeah.
right? Not for you specifically.
Yeah.
and again, it's about the individual person, you know. And that's what I tell everyone that, you know, decides to come and have a chat with me. So I'm glad that you've been able to share that, to be honest, so that someone knows that it's not the only route, but it's an option.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So what are your hopes then for how far you're going to be able to take your content creator journey and business? Because now it's literally your business. Like, this is what you choose to do every single day.
Yeah. Well, I think now that I've gone full time, I have a community now. Like, I've been able to network through some of the stuff that we've been able to work on to get me to the networking events. I've been able to make connections with other creators, which is massive.
Huge.
So it's so big. And we went on like a creator retreat as well, which was so nice. But we literally speak to each other every single day, which is nice. So building a community behind the scenes, but also the work is picked up. It's going well so far. Ooh. I'm putting myself out there. I feel like I'm more creative in the content I create as well. So I'm really happy and proud of the stuff that I'm putting out, which is good. I don't really know at the moment because with UGC, I love UGC, but there are definitely other avenues that I want to explore and find out where I go with them. So I kind of want to take the time to explore those now that I have the time to do that, which is really good. But yeah, I just see myself progressing with it, and so far so good. Like, the content and the work is coming in consistently, so I know that is going well, basically.
That's literally you, like, you're creating your own income.
Yeah.
It's honestly the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
It really is. The thing that I love about how far you've come is the fact that you can now compare. Because, you know, when we were talking, obviously, 6-7 months ago now, and you said, like, you know, I want to do this and I want to do that. And obviously you hadn't done some of those things yet. So, for example, like, you know, the creator retreat that you recently went on with, like, Victoria's Secret and all these crazy brands, right? Yeah. You were talking about those things, but obviously you were still that person that was really scared to go to just, you know, the events in London, never mind like a 2-night retreat.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, okay, how far can we really take this? Because I feel like with content creation, the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Because it's you. It's however far you want to take it.
Exactly.
Right? But now that you've been able to make that comparison and you've gone to this, you know, 2-night retreat, which was amazing. All the content from it was stunning. Like, it was so good. Yeah. And it just looked so fun. And it was really nice seeing you in that environment too.
Yeah.
But what do you feel like that was costing you when you weren't able to go to events? Now that you've been to these big events and you go to them regularly, what was it costing you to not be at those events? From a financial perspective, from an emotional perspective?
I think financially, like, obviously, if the more you're networking, the more you're building connections with brands, agencies, other creators, the more work you're going to get. Yeah. And the more creative your work is, the output, when you're networking and just having conversations with people in the creative space is just massively helpful, because I always come out of like these events and, you know, going to the creator retreat, and I recently went to an event with Canva, and you just learn so much that you can apply to your content. So it's massively helpful from a financial and professional perspective. From a personal perspective, just having that community and, you know, discussing some of the stuff that we go through as creatives on a daily basis, it's just really nice to know that you're not alone in that area, but also building friends and being social and just getting out and about, because being a content creator can be a really lonely, isolating space. You're kind of at home creating content by yourself. So we rarely get the chance to network. So pushing yourself out there to go to events and network with other creators not only helps you kind of build those connections that can obviously lead to more work, but it's also building friendships and being social. And I think that's a really necessary part that we all need. So yeah.
So what was it like then? Because now you're talking about like the community and all the benefits of it, which is insane, right? Yeah. Because you've probably got loads of friends now, in like a whole new bunch of friends in the UGC space, right? And just in the creator space, to be honest, which is sick, like so cool.
Yeah.
So what was it like then, maybe not having those friends who were like-minded and who could get you to where you wanted to get to, essentially, and help you on that journey? What was it like back then when you didn't have those people to rely on or speak to?
I think it was quite hard, and I still go through it with certain family members and friends who I don't really speak to that often, but were we were really close before. They don't quite understand how I'm making a living. They don't understand the job. And they're just like, yeah, exactly. Just like, is this a real job?
Yeah.
Like, are you getting paid kind of thing? And you can always go back to teaching. And I'm just like, I'm not going back to teaching, guys.
Woo!
So, yeah.
Thank God.
So yeah, it can be quite hard because no one really quite understands it or gets it.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel the judgment, and from family members especially, you get the worry as well. Like, are you going to be financially secure?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, it kind of feels like you're free falling. So it can be really isolating, and you can feel it really kind of makes you question what you're doing as well. So it makes you unconfident in the choices that you make. And yeah, they just don't get it, really. So yeah.
How has that been with your family then as well? I mean, trying to make them, because they must have seen a difference in you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming in terms of your level of confidence and just how outgoing you are now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's easier for you to have that communication with them now because they can kind of see it in you in the way that you are day to day, maybe compared to where you were before? Do you feel like it's still quite difficult? Like, where's that?
I think with my close family members, they're really supportive. Like, mum and dad, like, see the benefit in it. And they definitely ask me questions. They're like, how's it going? And stuff like that. And they kind of are coming around to the idea now. They're just like, oh, she's actually doing really well. And they're quite proud. It's so nice to see my mum being like, oh, you're doing very well. So it's so cute. And my sister as well. Like, she does a lot of makeup, and she's like, there's 3 of us, and I'm the oldest and she's the youngest, but she's the most social out of us.
Yeah.
But even she really struggles with filming and putting herself out there and doing content. And I'm forever telling her, just put yourself out there, because she's so good at makeup and beauty and stuff. So trying to encourage her to do it as well. And she actually sees the benefit of it now that I'm giving her all this PR, and I'm just like, look what I got you. But with some family members, I think, especially the older generation, you still get that that kind of barrier where they still question what you're doing. There's still that judgment of, because it's not a traditional job, like, and especially coming from the South Asian background, like, working in the creative industry is not really seen as being a proper job.
As an actual job.
Yeah. So it can be quite tough having those conversations with some other family members who are not as supportive, but I now have the confidence and the backing, really, of my close family members, so it's quite nice.
Got the backing of the brands as well that you've worked with.
Exactly.
Like, everyone knows who those brands are, so they can't say anything, right? You've literally got the backing of those brands.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think because, again, our journey together has been, like, so far has been, I think, a lot deeper than what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think you might have thought that. Well, what did you think it was going to be like? Actually, that's a good question.
I was just like, oh, it's just going to be a nice chat. Like, our first conversation, I was just like,
You don't pay me for chats.
I know.
What?
I was like, I really didn't know what I was expecting, because I think I'd followed your journey, and then I knew that you were doing the confidence coaching. So I kind of thought it was just going to be, you know, a certain amount of tools that you were going to show me, and then I would have to try and apply them myself without really any guidance, or not too much guidance at all. So I think, yeah, that's what I came into it initially thinking. And then after our first session, I was just like, no, she knows what she's talking about. Like, this is going to be, it's going to be hard, but it's going to help massively. So I think the last few months, especially, the entire process of going through this journey and this confidence coaching has really taught me a lot. And now I'm able to take the strategies and the tools that you've given me and apply them to all aspects of life. And I think there's been massive life changes that I've had, and things that I've, like, choices that I've made that I wouldn't have made before. Not just going full time, but personally and, like, relationship wise, that I've made recently, that I'm just like, wow, like, I wouldn't have had the confidence to do that before, and now I've done it. So yeah.
What's one of the, like, out of all the sessions that we've done, is there one that really sits in your heart that you remember, where there was, like, a massive shift, or you were just like, whoa, I can't believe this has just happened?
Yeah.
What was it?
There was a session that we did where I think we were talking, it was around being confident when going to networking events and showing up, basically, and being in a room full of people that you don't know. And we did the exercise where we went back and I talked to my younger self, and I was doing a ballet exam. Yeah. And yeah, that was massive. And I just remember coming out in tears, but it was so big because I remember that part, that particular day and what happened so well, because it is basically, it's trauma in my head. So working through that and being able to actually see myself as a child and heal my younger self and be able to talk to the 5-year-old that I was doing that ballet exam and coming out of it and being like, no, you've got this, and being the person that I needed to be for myself back then was really big. So that's the one that always sticks in my mind, and it kind of replays. When I go to networking events, I kind of like just remember, you're that little girl in that ballet exam. So, yeah.
So what's the story that you... Oh, that's really sweet, actually. Because I remember it. I literally remember it.
Yeah.
As soon as you said ballet, I was like, oh, yeah. So what's the story that you tell yourself then? When you go to events now, I guess knowing how you were feeling when you used to go to events,
Yeah.
what is the mindset that you have when you go into them? What's the thing that you tell yourself?
It's like the way you're feeling is totally normal. Like, it's okay to feel scared and anxious about going into this room, but every single other person there, or not maybe every single person, but there are definitely going to be people in there that feel exactly the same way as you do. And just being the person to kind of break that cycle and just having the confidence to go and introduce yourself, like, is just going to not only massively do something for you, but you're going to bring that other person up as well. So, yeah. Yeah.
And then another question I wanted to ask, it's really weird because obviously you're already confident in front of the camera, right? And you were when we first met because you were already in UGC, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that the work that we've done behind the scenes, how would you say that's helped with your confidence on camera? Do you feel like it's made you even more confident online? Do you feel like it's kind of got you to the level that you wanted to be at? What's that journey been like?
Yeah, I think massively. Like, one of the things that I've now known through making the connections with other creators and in the industry and stuff was that I wasn't kind of being my real self. I was giving a certain version of myself to the campaigns, to the brands, which you kind of have to do because you get given a brief and you have to show a certain aspect of your life. But just showing my real self now, showing the real, you know, sometimes the struggles and the challenges that I go through, and just having real conversations. Like, I never used to do stories where I would talk to the camera and just talk about my day, and now I do that. And then that's the way you connect with other people. Then I get messages from people being like, oh, I saw your story today, blah blah blah, kind of thing. And then it's just allowed me to kind of build my business in the sense that people know who I actually am as a person, but also make those connections as well, and friendships. Which has been really nice for me because I feel like it's less work now. Like, I'm not showing this perfect facade to people. I'm just showing me, which is, yeah, it's nicer.
You know what? I never even thought about that. The fact that you've just said that, because obviously as a UGC creator, right, or just as a content creator in general in the creative world, you are just technically seen as someone that, as you said, is filming the briefs, you know, getting it done. You are the person on camera who's, you know, doing all that work. But actually the fact that you've said that people now know you personally, they're like, oh yeah, Tix, you know, that creator who does, you know, whatever, or that woman who does. So the fact that you've got that leverage now to be able to leverage you as a person as well as you as a creator. You know what I mean? It means that you can actually take this in so many different avenues. And that's amazing because it just gives you that freedom, right? Which I think is something else that I could tell that you were looking for. Not even you didn't even want like a way out. It was more so just having that freedom and being able to leverage it. It's like you're going to Vietnam, right? In July. Is it July?
In like 3 weeks.
And you've got some partnerships landed and ready to go for Vietnam, right? Which is insane. Because you're literally going to be continuing to make your good money whilst you're out there. In Vietnam for 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Which is amazing.
No, it's huge. Because obviously if you were still doing the teaching job, you wouldn't, again, the flexibility wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
In the same way, with hours and all these other things, right? So how does that feel, being able to, because this is the first time you would have been going to, because you go to Vietnam quite a lot, right? You used to live there. But this is the first time you will be going there, being your own boss and like being able to do everything on your own terms. How does that feel?
It feels amazing, like, and thank you, like, because without the work that we've done, like, I wouldn't be able to do that at all. And just prepping for it, and being able to just managed to land retainer deals whilst I'm out there and deals while I'm there. And yeah, it's just mind-blowing to me, but it's going to be so good because I used to have to teach in the evening, so the time where, you know, the sun has gone down because it's massively hot over there during the summer, so being able to actually have the evenings off where I can go to the beach with my daughter and play with her in the sand and go swimming is just going to be so nice. And just like, it's going to be a big test for us as well, like me and my partner and our daughter are going out there, and we've kind of said to ourselves, like, we're going to see, you know, whether we can maintain a stable income whilst we're out there for that period of time, and whether this could be the shift in us leaving potentially the UK.
Crazy.
So yeah, and going back to Vietnam, because that was always the plan, but COVID and life happened basically. So yeah, we're just gonna see what happens. So yeah.
If you a year ago was kind of looking at you now and what your life is like now,
Yeah,
what would she even say?
I think she'd say like, "Oh my God, you're doing it! Like, this is amazing." But also, why didn't we do this sooner? That's something I keep telling myself. I'm just like, I wish we had done this sooner. But I'm glad that I'm in the right mindset set to now continue to do it. But I think she would have been really proud. She would have been like, "Oh, wow, she's really doing it." So, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, because a year ago you was teaching you, right?
Yeah.
So again, very, very, very different lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I guess different priorities, right? Because you had to do what you had to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow. Oh, I'm really proud. And the fact you're going to Vietnam for 6 weeks as well is just so nice.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Who wouldn't want to do that? Yes. Kind of jealous, but that's okay. Oh, okay. So, obviously you've just spoken about you and your family, you being a mum, right? With everything that we've done, everything that you're doing now, what inspiration are you hoping to be for your daughter?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know.
I think just showing her, one, having the time for her now, because I was juggling so much before that I just kind of used to go through the motions of being a parent and not really spending the time with her. Now I have masses more time with her, and I really structure my day so I can be there for her and I can pick up on the social cues and what's going on with her is really big. And just showing her that you can, you know, you can take risks, you can do things that are sometimes scary and push you out your comfort zone. But once you've done them and you've come out of it the other end, you're really proud of yourself, and you can say to other people, I did this. And, you know, you can show other people that you are capable of doing things that make you feel uncomfortable. And just trying to be the best representation for her as a woman, just showing her, you know, what a healthy adult grown woman looks like. And yeah, just trying to be there for her emotionally, physically, and yeah, just trying to guide her on the right path. She's always going to be her own person. Just trying to guide her, I suppose.
I mean, it's going to be her, like, literally living through you.
Yeah.
Right? To an extent. Because all the things, do you remember how I said to you, you're such a cool mum? I was like, you're so cool.
I was like, you're the only person that's ever called me cool, but
you're
okay.
So cool. Like, imagine, like, being your daughter. I'd be like, what? Oh, yeah, my mum's just going out with YouTube. Like, oh, yeah, she's just going out with Cal. Like, no biggie. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Like, that's such a cool mum.
I don't think she quite understands. Like, she.
Yeah, to be fair, she won't understand it right now.
Yeah.
But she will.
Yeah.
The receipts are there. Like, you've got those receipts for the rest of your life. But she will, and she'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's my mum on a billboard. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know, just my mum. You know.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we've spoken about how you were feeling, and obviously where you are at the moment, right? Because you're like mid to late 30s, right? So this
Late
is
30s,
yeah, this is something I think with content creation as well. Everyone assumes that it's something that, you know, only 20, like, you know, mid 20-year-olds do, or, you know, younger people sort of do.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you're proving that that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Right. So if there was a woman right now who, let's say, is in her, you know, mid 30s to 40s, and she's just like that version of you from before, who's got the self-doubt, who's unsure whether she can take the leap and what's on the other side of that leap, you know, and that big decision that she might want to make for herself, what would you say to that woman?
I would say try and heal your younger self, like really go back through those moments where you had that problematic thinking, where you felt inferior or you felt unconfident, and try and speak to yourself and really see yourself as a child, and try and work through that process. But also, you know, do what you need to do, whether that is through what the kind of work that we do, whether that is therapy. Seek out the help and don't be afraid to ask for the help to get you there, because you are so deserving of sharing your story and putting yourself out there, and there is definitely space for you, especially in the content creation world. Like, I have a community of creators that I speak to literally every single day, and we are all late 30s, 40s, even 50s. And there is masses of work out there for people like us, because there are so many women in that situation that do not feel confident in putting themselves out there. They're consuming the content, and they want to see people like us, because we are a massive representation of women, and I think women are always underrepresented in so many aspects of life. But being there for each other and building a community and being able to see yourself and being that person for other people is just so massively rewarding. So yeah, do what you need to do, whether that is whatever kind of work that you need to do to get yourself there, and you are deserving of being in that space, and people need to see more of that. So yeah, don't be afraid.
I wanted to get your take on this, because I speak to so many, I would say between 30 to 50 years old, right? This is the same thing I get every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time when I speak to a woman who is between, like, 35 maybe to 50, or 30 to 50, they tell me, okay, yes, I might want to, do really fun things on camera and work with that brand, or, show up for my business or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But every time they say, I'm too old to be on camera. That's the same every single time. It's I'm too old to be on camera.
Yeah.
Right? And something that I've realised very recently, actually, is obviously the work that we're doing. Yes, I'm there accountability-wise for you. But actually, what I've realised along my entire journey is that the camera has been my accountability partner.
Yeah.
Because every time I've verbally said something or physically shown something and made a promise online, I've always, stuck to that promise.
Yeah.
No matter how long it takes. But once I've publicly said it, it's like, oh no, you've got to make it happen now. However that means, you make it happen.
Yeah.
But having the camera there actually for me has done that in ways that I didn't even realise at the time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask if you also feel that way, that kind of documenting your journey and being able to publicly go through this has helped you to kind of stay accountable and actually make this happen for yourself.
Yeah, massively. I think when you're a content creator, once you put something out there publicly, and you have the camera there and you make a promise to people, you know that people are watching that. So you're just like, now I have to show up, because it's not just for me, it's for everybody else who's behind me as well, or everybody, when you're looking at views, if you've only had 50 views, that's still 50 people. If you put 50 people in a room that have seen what you've just said, you want to show up and be deliver on the promise that you've made. So, I definitely feel like that. When I put something out there online, and I say, I'm going to, follow up on this, I'm going to show you the part 2, I'm going to show you the after results or whatever, I have to show up, because it's not just for me, it's for the people behind me as well that are watching everything that you do, and you might inspire that person to do something, or to take the leap, or to give them that confidence to do what they have not been confident enough to do. So yeah, it's important.
It's so powerful what you said about the 50, because I hear this all the time, right? The 50 people thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know for a fact, if I ask someone who, again, is feeling inferior at the moment, would you get up on a stage and talk in front of 50 people?
Yeah.
They'd say no, instantly, right? They'd say no instantly. But, again, they'd see that 50 views as a loss.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, right? Because you see that 50 views publicly as a loss. But if I ask you to speak in front of 50 people, you're going to say no.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's, I think that's where having someone there, or just the camera, just to start. I think the camera, as soon as you've pressed record, you've started.
And the thing
you've taken the first step.
You can't just take the views as a fail, because you don't know who's watching those views.
It might be the one right person who needed to see that bit of content, right?
Exactly.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's where the fear comes in, because it's the not knowing.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I'm glad you agree, because it's something that came into my mind quite recently, and I was like, actually, I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But the camera really is there as your accountability partner.
Yeah.
if you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know?
I never thought about it like that either.
No,
like I knew that I used to
right?
do it, but I just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is, yeah.
And the thing is, everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you really want that accountability, pick it up.
Exactly, yeah.
Pick it up, record yourself saying this is day one of whatever it is you want to do, right?
Yeah.
It's there. And it doesn't mean you have to share it with the world, but it's still, if you know it's there,
So does
document it in
the other
private.
people, yeah.
You know, yeah. And I think people forget about that massively. So yeah, I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
Just a thought that I had. I was like, I'm going to ask Tix.
Yeah.
Okay, so to finish off, right? We talk about Audacity a lot. We talk about, I mean, again, you and me who have had acne are not supposed to be seen. Obviously, we're taught to not be seen.
Yeah.
South Asian in the creative world, right? We've literally had everything thrown at us, telling us to hide.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
Yeah.
So with the journey we've been on, we've had to have a lot of audacity to just be like, you know what, screw that. We're going to show up anyway.
Exactly.
Right? What would you say about doing something or taking that leap, making that decision before you feel ready? Like, what does that mean to you now?
I think what you just said about the camera making you accountable is really important, because it's kind of, it pushes you to set that goal or to take that leap that you may not feel ready to quite do, but you know that you kind of need to do it. And I think as a content creator, when you say to yourself, I'm going to do this on camera, it kind of pushes you to do it, and push yourself out that confidence zone. And I think there's that group of YouTubers that they have this saying where they say, find, I think it's comfort in being uncomfortable or something. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's basically when you push yourself to do something that you don't feel quite ready to do, but you know that you need to do it and you do have the skill set to do it. I think when you finally achieve that, or you're even in the process of doing it, even whether you fail or, you know, whether you complete the task or whatever, it just gives you a massive confidence boost. One, that you've even tried to do something that you didn't think you were even capable of doing. And then if you do manage to achieve it, you just get that whole feeling of accomplishment. And it massively grows your confidence, but it also shows you that you are capable of things that you didn't think that you were ever capable of doing, which I think is really big. And it just shows you that you deserve to be there, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, this is the last question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
What is your next audacious move? What's the next big thing?
I'd say today, going to the YouTube event for the England game. Like, I don't even watch football that much.
Yeah.
And then taking a friend of mine along and going to that. Like, this is probably the biggest event that I've ever been to, with like a massive brand that I've always wanted to work with. And it's going to be so much fun. So before, I probably would have been like, oh, I'm not going to apply for it because I don't even watch football. Like, I don't deserve to be there, kind of thing. But now I'm like a mum UGC creator going to a YouTube football event. I'm like,
so cool.
So,
Cool mum. You're a cool mum. I've been saying it. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, well, honestly, watching your journey, you're not even watching it. Being involved in your journey has been crazy, and it's been so inspirational for me because of everything that you've spoken about with your daughter, and just seeing your limits. Right, was obviously difficult for me, but being able to actually push through them with you, and not just saying, okay, well, here, take this and run. You know, and being able to work through that together has been so amazing for me, and it's taught me so much, to be honest. Like, I've learned so much about myself through your journey. I have, genuinely. I really have. Don't cry again. You don't have to choose. But yeah, I just can't wait, because we've extended. Like, I just can't wait to keep showing up for you and having you show up for yourself, because I feel like you're gonna go so far.
Yeah.
Like, cool mum.
Like, I feel
so
like
far.
the work that we've done has like massively helped. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I've decided to extend, because I can see like the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm so close to being there, and I'm just like, she's just going to give me that push to be like, yeah, there you go, run
It's
through it.
going to happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
But I think now, not like you being okay with not rushing it as well,
Yeah.
is also huge, you know, and just doing it at a pace that feels right for you, because you know it's coming either way.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries. Thank
It's
you
been
so
so
much
nice
for
to speak to
having
you in person.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.